Live. You're live. You're live. It's Friday. No, it's Thursday. So confident. I'm so confident about the date. Hello, it's noon. And turn that off. And whenever I do these sessions, this is like number 8, and tomorrow will be number 9, and I think that's the last. Potentially right now I'm committed to doing them every day until tomorrow. So I don't know when I'm gonna do them next week. I could be convinced by one person saying, "Yeah, do it next week." I'm not really sure why I'm doing these. I'm not really sure why I'm like sprucing up all the Mustn'ts stuff, like getting the EP out, getting the music video out, and getting all of the social media accounts like under control or aligned. The Mustn'ts, Vicky and I's little project, it's been around a long time, 15 years maybe, and a lot of people have played with us, and we've collaborated with cool people, and I like the project a lot. It's fun, playful. But I do have to say that while it is like soul healing, and you do it, Jason, I don't know that it is like responsible. Oh, the previous videos are all saved. They're just unlisted. And the reason is because full disclosure, I think that they're terrible. I think that they are really bad. And what I'm gonna do, and I think they're sort of like on the YouTube channel. I think they sort of take focus away from, like, say, the Yellow Dog music video, which is a real thing that I think I want people to watch, and it sort of better represents the Mustn'ts versus these, like, and sometimes these things are like, I don't know, they're just not great. This is like a line feed, so there's no like, I mean, I guess I could learn how to do things. Anyway, too much talk. Learn how to do things like add reverb and that kind of stuff, but then that always sort of feels lame to me. In case you're wondering if I overthink things or not, I do. But I mean, I'm not opposed to. The other thing that's on there is a bunch of music I don't ever play too. So there's like sort of clumsy and mediocre and a bunch of stuff. So yesterday I played the full EP, and then I also played what could be the next, like, a full other EP, like a full other Mustn'ts EP of songs that have either have never been recorded or have never been recorded by Vicky and I together. So, and there's only one song that like sits outside of something we've never recorded. That was recorded in for her earlier band, Belleville. All right, music. Today's Thursday. I hope you guys are all clean. Hope your hands are all washed. Hope you're all sheltered. I hope you are not going as crazy as we all could be. I'm gonna. Deborah likes to walk right there, so I'm just gonna leave that area clear in case I start singing and she starts walking that way. I have what I'm thinking about doing for next week, instead of performing songs on the EP or songs that I've written or songs that friends have written, is I'm thinking about delving into finishing songwriting things. I have a pretty steady practice of improvising a song. It's not exactly every day, but it's frequently enough that I have, I don't know, a lot of exploratory tracks that I've like just improvised on. It's not complicated. They're not good. They're very personal. A lot of them are sad, so much so that Lauren was like, what if you did it in the evening so that maybe you're more positive? We're in a 1-bedroom apartment, and it sits up on the second floor, and we can look. There's big windows in the living room, and we can look down, and we can see all the people on the street and cycling and walking their dogs and just walking together. And we can't open any of these windows so that we can't reach out and say hi. But we are trying to figure out what to do to stay healthy, and so we were eliminating snacks. So we've had all this it's Lily's chocolate, so it's sugar-free chocolate or sugar substitute chocolate. We have all these nuts, like walnuts and pecans and Brazil nuts, and so have cheese too, which I ate too much cheese in the last few days and had to sit in the bathroom about it. And then anyway, so we are trying to not have snacks. This is our next pandemic approach to good health. We're trying to find ways to exercise each day that she's better at than I am, and we're trying to find fewer snacks. So I got some coffee here. It's now my snack. Okay, let's play some music. If anybody wants to hear anything, you're welcome just to post in the chat, or if you can't get to the chat, you're welcome to text me. I'm looking at my phone and at the chat. So this song reminds me of Jason. Since I know you're out there. It's on the EP. It's called The Ship. Cool air off the water, the sun's warm and touch. From the wind I keep getting a really nice push. The plastic, it's sticky and sweat doesn't help. Where is it that it's getting me? Heaven or help? I keep wondering out loud. Beneath white clouds, where is the ship sailing me? This might be a river, I keep looking up. Just now it dawns upon me that this might be a tugboat. The belly of the whale, the belly of the sea, the belly of a dancer. It's no mind to me, I keep wandering out loud. Beneath white clouds, where is the ship sailing? How did clouds get in that gold? She could have swallowed the whole world. The moments all past me, the days now night. Tomorrow may last me the rest of my life. Yep. But still I keep floating, but now I am tired. Sleep will cost me, but just for a while I keep wandering out loud. Beneath white clouds, where is the ship sailing me? I keep wandering out loud. Beneath white clouds, where is the ship sailing me? Yeah, that song, Vicky and I wrote it for that one episode of Mustn'ts. I just remember that it's a montage of Adam, played by Jason Zednick, who's there in the chat. And we wanted to have, I really for Madison Atkins wanted to have all original music in it. It was a priority. Felt like, and I think we had a lot of original music in it. Matter of fact, when people sort of comment on it now, they talk about the music. But I wanted to create a lot of the music for that round of it, and that was one of the tracks that we did. And I like that song a lot. That song resonates with me personally. And what's really interesting is having, or what's really insightful for me in this time, is that a lot of this music that we have just released that is old, and some of it's like more than a decade old to me, just released it, and it really, it is an interesting frame to look at current life in. So like this idea of being on the ship, and the ship is sailing somewhere, and I'm not really sure where it is, and I'm still asking that question. I guess it's the same person wrote those songs way back in, is still singing them today. But I don't, there are a lot of things that the pandemic changes for me personally. And I recognize fully that it changes things for everyone. So I'm not alone. And as a matter of fact, it hasn't hit me, it's hit other people a lot worse than it's hit me. So I really, I don't know what's next. We have Beta Theater, which if you want to make a donation to Beta Theater, just, as a matter of fact, a couple of you have here, so don't feel like you need to continue to do that. But, Bill, what's his name? Bill Microsoft, Bill Gates. I wanted to say Bill Gaines, and that is not right. Bill Gates has said.
I want to call him Bill Nye.
You want to call him Bill what?
Nye.
Bill Nye, like the science guys? I think it's just Bill Nye, though. Bill Nye. Oh, it's also not Bill Gaines. It's Bill Gates. Anyway, Lauren's over there doing something. Oh, yeah, she's saying hi, PJ. Anyway.
Billy
Nye. Old Billy Nye's. Very nice. All that to say is that Bill Gates says he recommends 10 weeks of lockdown. If we're locked down anywhere, then we're locked down everywhere. This is it's a voice I trust. I really trust Bill Gates. I think he knows what he's talking about, and I don't really know how to reconcile that with my day-to-day, except to say that the theater, Beta Theater, where we teach small classes in improv, and we hold very, very small shows in our spaces in Midtown Houston, and if we aren't meeting in person, then we need to devise a new way to connect and a way to perform. And I think a lot of people in the entertainment industry are trying to tackle that. So how do you have shows that are all streamed? How do you have classes that are all streamed? I'm in a sketch class right now at UCB, out of UCBLA, and I'm actually really excited that I'm able to do it, because I don't think it was open to the online thing until the pandemic. So I'm actually excited to have another class, because especially like things like improv theaters are going to go out of business, because if they anything that involves a classroom is just going to go out of business. So long story long, that song, The Ship, where is the ship sailing me? I don't know where it's sailing me. I feel like I do have some say in this, but I am, like many things over the last several years, I've just been arrested with indecision and arrested with sort of fear of humans. So I'm an unfortunate attribute over the last several years that I've acquired is tremendous fear of human beings, and this can be broadly, like there are millions and millions of human beings who looked at Donald Trump and said that needs to be the leader of our country, and then there are a tremendous amount of human beings that have been my very, very close and intimate colleagues and friends who don't value relationships in a way that I do, and so I'm terrified of humans. And I'd like to not be. I'd like to be more how I was in my youth, where I'm just like confident and rambunctious and have ideas and just leap out and try them. Things like Madison Atkins. It's like, wow, gotta do this. And making those choices cost me things, cost me work, cost me clients in Nacogdoches. I remember that specifically. My decision to invest energy in this kind of creative alternate reality game, especially the summer that this song came out of, absolutely cost me my biggest client in Nacogdoches, and they were difficult anyway. But anyway, long story long. These are why, Jason. This kind of like dialogue is why these are all unlisted after I perform them. All right. Whenever I was wrote more religious music, I did a lot of stuff with this like flipped over capo, cut capo as they like to call it sometimes, because it gives you sort of like a guitars like a drop D. And also, in hindsight, all of my worship music just sounds like somebody who doubts the situation. There are no words to say. There are no words to say to encapsulate all you are to me. Things that I would say underestimate all you are to me. If I could truly grasp the depths of grace, which I've asked if a vision seen was nearly true, then mountains would not hesitate to move. Are no words to say to encapsulate all you are to me. The words that I would say clearly won't convey all you could be. If I could weigh and truly grasp the depths of grace, which I bask in vision seen was nearly true, then everything would be blind to me but you. There are no words to say. There are no words to say. So that was, I want to, hey, Lauren, can I have a favor? Will you bring me a tissue? I'm not exactly trapped, but I am tethered by cables, and I'm like perfectly situated. Thank you, Lauren. Man, the thing that's happened recently, and I think this is allergies, is, and it might just be also being inside all the time, but I wish I could cry. PJ, if I could cry, I would cry all the time. But here's Lauren. She's in the Deborah hole. So I used to write things that for evangelical or charismatic congregations in the Christian faith that were either like poetically challenging or lyrically verbose, like so lyrically verbose that they were hard to sing congregationally, and I would just sing them unapologetically. So this is another. In fact, I'll just try to remember as much of this as I can. I lay down my day, I lay down my night, I lay down my pain, I lay down my fight. I lay down my ways, I lay down my whys, I lay down my hate, I lay down the spotlight. My day, my night, my pain, my fight, my wrongs, my rights, my ways, my whys, my ways, my whys. My hate, my pride, my pain, my spotlight, my wars, my might, my name, my fame, and everything that's mine. That was the refrain. My day, that's where it would end. So I'm not going to sing this whole worship song. There's a moment where like trying to get like a big congregation of my day, my night, my pain, my fight, my wrongs, my rights, my ways, my whys, my ways, my whys. My hate, my pride, my pain, my spotlight, my war, my might, my name, my fame, and everything that's mine. And everything that's mine. Anyway, so yeah, I used to lead worship for an organization in New York called The Haven, and it met on Monday nights, and it actually met in. Eventually, it used to meet at this place where my friend down on, I don't know, 17th or 18th Street in Manhattan. Grace? It's connected to St. George's Episcopal. And anyway, and then it moved up to the Lambs Theater where I lived and worked. Is this a Christian rap? Yeah, it's Christian rap. You know who's doing Christian music now is my good friend Devin Finch, which is kind of incredible because he got sober and he's an incredible, talented human being in almost every way. And he decided to start making Christian music because I think that's been a really powerful help to him. So I really get it. So that was a Christian worship song. I guess it's sort of rappy. Could be sort of rappy, but I wrote a lot of stuff in that sort of drop D cut. This kind of. So I kind of feel like I stopped in mid thought what was on where I was, but and then I also led worship at First Church of the Nazarene in Hey Jennifer. And hey Ryan, and hey PJ, and hey Jason. What a fun little. Oh, there's 7 now. This is, I think, a record. 7 people in here. Lauren's in here too, so I know for sure who 5 of you are. But welcome the other 2 who respectfully can remain anonymous. You do not have to chat. So so in Manhattan, I lived and worked in a church called the Lambs, and do I know Jesus, pour your liquid love all over me? You know, I do think a lot of like worship songs have really like having sex with Jesus connotations. What was that? Hungry I come to you, for I know you satisfy, whatever that song is. Yeah, hungry I come to you because I know you satisfy. Hello, Jesus. So anyway, I led worship at the Haven, and a true story about the Haven is that it was an interdenominational organization, and toward the end of my leadership run there, I knew that I was no longer a Christian, and had told a few people. Had started dating a non-Christian, and then the leadership, who are still my friends, by the way, they don't sound too great in this story, but they created a super evangelical, like Southern Baptist statement of faith and made everybody involved in leadership sign it. And I couldn't sign it because I was honest. And then, so I didn't sign it. So I was pulled from leadership, which was fine and not like terrible. I probably should have been pulled from leadership of any Christian organization well before. But it was kind of like a relationship with a significant other that had long gone bad, but you stayed in it out of habit. And so I did. And on one hand, I was really upset, with good reason, that they'd kind of created this weird policy for themselves that didn't really govern the organization really well. But then made it, and then later they confirmed they specifically made it for me to kick me out of this organization. People wonder why I have abandonment issues, and I do attract super passive aggressive people to be close to me who can't just sit down and say, hey, can we have a conversation? So anyway, okay. I was gonna play something. I'm trying to. One of the first songs I ever wrote, I wrote in Waco, Texas. I was helping. I was in the band of the group who later became the David Crowder Band. If you're like Christian knowledgeable. And before he was the David Crowder Band, I played hammer dulcimer and acoustic guitar and sang sort of harmonies in the background of. Anyway, I'd written this song. This song is from the mid-90s or mid to late 90s. I wanted to speak, but missed the audition, and the church is gonna make me wait till next year. It's better the way I say it. In heavy repetition, I'm praying for the mantras, and I hope that they help me hear. Hate the sound of bare naked ladies in my car. But now I'm in the shower and I'm afraid to step into the war. I'm gonna let the lady hold on to all the power. And I said, Jesus, I don't know you at all. I said, Jesus, I don't know you at all. All I know is I control my Legos and know they haven't ever done me any wrong. And my eyes find the floor. I'm not gonna watch the way that she goes. I don't like the terrible thoughts of carrying on alone. I said, Jesus, I don't know you at all. I said, Jesus, I don't know you at all. That song is interesting. I was thinking about it while I was singing it because first off, I don't. The lyrics don't like are just not like on the tip of my tongue. So it's the kind of thing where there's some muscle memory involved. So I can just get into like the first couple of lines. I can remember all of it. But so you know, it's Christian, person of faith, and I'm writing the song Jesus, I don't know you at all, which is you know at the time felt right. You know, there is like this paradigm that you are dealing with this infinite being that spans all of time, outside of time, all knowledge, all existence. And so of course I'm not going to understand that entity, and if there is such an entity or entities, or I'm not going to understand them. I'm just not. And so this idea of like Jesus, I don't know you at all. I also was engaged to, and I was in a terrible relationship. I don't know if you guys have been in a terrible relationship, but I was in one. And the whole relationship was terrible. She was terrible. I was terrible. It was terrible. And we broke up so many times. And it's like the bullet points of the relationship are bizarre. We were together in Waco, and she was against an acting career for me. I moved. We broke up. We were engaged. We broke up. tried to linger, had a terrible fight. I left January 1st, 2000, left Waco, packed my car, moved to New York. And then I don't really know how or why, but she ended up moving to New York, which did equal things excite me and upset me. And so September 11th happened, 2001, and we got together. We got married by December, and we were like divorced in like a year. We were separated. It was awful, and I was awful, and she was awful, and I have so many regrets and resentments and lessons learned in that relationship that sort of like defined how I participate in relationships for a long time till this day in many ways. And so this line, Jesus, I don't know you at all, was very much about like a statement that you might say to somebody angry. So like, Jesus, I do not fucking know you at all. So anyway, and there's an undercurrent of rejection of religion in Madison 1.0, 1.5. I noticed. Oh, that's probably, I don't know how conscious I was of writing that in there, but it was, the rejection of religion has been a theme for me for the past easy 20 years. And I even think like all the way back to high school where I was probably the most devout, there was still this mental disconnect of like people who believed in miracles. And I wanted that to be true. Like people who believed that you could walk on water and you could heal people who are blind and you could be this like superhero. Essentially, you could just connect into this, or be chosen, and also connect with that current of power from God, the Holy Spirit. So I had this disconnect. And then now in hindsight, and I don't want to like shit on anybody's experience, but in hindsight, oh my God, it's just a made up thing. It's just a made up thing. You know, and I say this all the time because I have a lot of friends who I love dearly who are people of faith, and they're like, oh, I just don't understand why. And this hasn't happened in a year, but they're like, I don't understand why you left the faith. And I was like, if I could believe it was true, I would rejoin the faith. If I could believe it's true, I would do it. But I don't believe. I don't do anybody a service, including myself, by just staying in a habit of something I just don't believe. I can go deep into that. But I also want to hear more, PJ, at some point about the undercurrent and rejection of faith and of religion in Madison 1.0 and 1.5. Okay. I'm deep into old stuff. Okay, so I'll play another old one. I had these like illusions of being like this famous Christian singer, but I didn't have the skill or the network to do it. And even when I did have the network, I didn't realize. I don't answer. You see me fall. I only fall faster. I've seen you cry at things that bring me laughter. I ask why. I don't get a good answer. I wanna know you like I know you. I don't know what you are seeing, but see to it. You set me free from me. You're loving me. I can only doubt it. Give me what I want. I can only doubt it. Or I can do without it. I've seen you set a meal in front of me. I only eat the salad. I've seen you bring yourself close to me. I get overcrowded. I'm on like I know you know me. I don't know what you are seeing, but seeing to me. You set me free from me. There's like a bridge. I don't remember. Set me free from me. I really hate that lyric. I've seen you set a meal in front of me. I only eat the salad. Stupid lyric in that song. I have another song that I never finished that I also has stupid lyrics in it. Let me see if I can remember some of it. And I do this sometimes where I'll start writing something and I just like, oh, that is such a stupid series of lyrics. I've been here so many times before, 'cause I know that you are what I need, and I've needed things so many times before, 'cause I know that you are what I need. Alright, this part I hate. Where there's food on the table, all there's bread up in the oven, and the smooth, sweet wine of your love. Oh, I hate this lyrics. I'm gonna sing them again. Where there's food on the table, all there's bread up in the oven, and the smooth, sweet wine of your love. Anyway, this like delves into like what Jennifer sort of mentions earlier about or she alludes to about like the different metaphors we use to. Worship music is inherently like it's bizarre. It's a series of love songs to someone you don't know. You not even don't know. You don't know how they communicate. You don't know what they value. You the book in which you reference is maybe thousands of narrators you probably shouldn't trust. Whew, it is such a weird thing. And also like imagine a love story between. No, but Jesus wasn't in. Okay, so PJ just wrote, and yet the breakup with Jesus wasn't one-sided. The relationship with, I imagine, all entities is not two-sided. It's three or more sided. So you have to agree. You have to agree that the deity agrees, and then the community has to agree with you as well. So like if you are, they just have to agree. And then the breakup really has nothing to do with the deity. It has to do with you and the community, or you and the beliefs. And so, you can be tossed out. So like Vicky's background. Maybe I should just let her tell those stories. But Vicky's background is very much from a conservative cult, and oh yeah, and then also, sorry, I'm all over the place. So Jennifer, also a lot of the songs are hypothetic or future tense. Like what was that? There's a same song I did earlier. And I wait for you, and I wait for you. So it's like all of these, like, oh, and this will happen in the future, but that never happens. Those things never happen. There is no, there is no, like, and this isn't true in worship music I wrote as well. It just is all future tense, and it's fantastical thinking, and it's the hope of being changed. It's the hope of connecting to this entity, and in some ways that's really sweet, I think. I don't know that I know this song very well, but one of my and I still to this day, my favorite, not to this day, but my favorite Christian singer songwriter is Rich Mullins, and my favorite song of Rich Mullins is "Lord, I Lift Your Name on High." Just kidding. That's not even a Rich Mullins song. My favorite song is "You Live in Heaven." You live in heaven. Hear the prayers of those of us. I know. I'm trying to remember the lyrics. Oh, while you're up there just playing hard to get. Anyway, and so like he died. There is a version of this of his demo where it's just like him in a church, like an old wooden church, and I'm trying to remember. Whenever the album came out after he died, Rich Mullins, I went to New Orleans and I listened to this one song in this drive from Houston to New Orleans. You who live in heaven, hear the prayers of those of us who live in skin, who are afraid of being left by those we love. Dum 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 dum. Anyway, the whole thing is like, and while God's up there playing hard to get, which I just love that sentiment. I should have known that I was not a person of faith much sooner than I did, and it is a sincere admission of embarrassment that I invested so much passion and energy in and devout faith for so long. Because I didn't believe and it wasn't healthy. Okay, so it's 12:44. I think I've played just a very, very weird set with lots of like talking. I don't really know what to play next. I feel like I'm in this kind of thing. Well, I appreciate that, PJ. I am embarrassed, and I shouldn't be. I hear you. And so I'm getting a text from David while we're doing this, Jennifer. So I'll tell him hello. On this front, I am I'm in this hole, and I don't know how to dig out of it. What next will I be when it's only me? Will I be at all? Or will I be at all? Will I be at all? Will I be at all? When she looks at me, she don't see what I see. Do I see at all? Or do I see it all? Do I see at all? Do I see it all? There's not a lot to me. People, they do leave. They don't leave at all. And they leave it all. They don't leave at all. When they leave it all. So will I rise? Or will I fall? Will I cry? Will I call? Will I get high? Will I say that's all? Will I smile? Will I just say that's all? 'Cause they don't leave at all. When they leave it all. 'Cause they don't leave at all. They don't leave at all. When they leave it all. That's from one of the music improvs I made last year, and that song was in the piece that Lindsay and I made called "Pretty Damn Magic." And I say Lindsay and I were leading a really large team, and everyone contributed personally to that. Maddie and Tracy and Luke and Teresa and Rebecca and Lindsay Kortner and Rebecca Herpin and French, and we had help from Karen Lovelady. Anyway, it was just a really, and then there was Juan Julio, who was the visual artist. Anyway, it was just great, and it was a really nice and personal piece. So it is about 10 till. I think I'm gonna do one more song, but I to comment on that song, this "They Don't Leave It All" song. I feel like this song has sort of like this worship. It has a lot of attributes of worship music, and feels like worship music. First off, it's really simple. It's just 1-4-1-4. So G, C. And then it's like future thinking. What next will I be? What next will I be? When it's only me, will I be at all? And then anyway, for me, it's got these little tiny little things that I get super, like, I think are clever. So will I be at all? Will I be at all? So it's just like, and I really think that both of those framings of the situation are wrong. I mean, I think that, will I be it all? No, I'm not going to be it all. Will I be at all? Yes, I'm going to be it all. So it's like these polarizing things. And then the question is where will I land in the middle of it? And then what other people say as they look at me, I don't always agree with them. I have an ongoing fight with people about whether I am lazy or not lazy. And almost exclusively, everyone would be like, you are not lazy. And almost exclusively, I would say, I am 100% the worst lazy person in the world. So this song delves into this sort of like congregational singing. Will I rise? Will I fall? And it just has such like a congregational sort of feel in that moment. And it's long sustained notes, really simple ideas. It delves into sort of my writing style where I'm just super verbose. As a matter of fact, I'm not even singing all of the will I this, will I that, will I da 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 da. There's a million of them. And yeah, I think that it's that song in particular is 100% of where I'm at, and I've sort of been in that place for a long time, for maybe almost a year exactly, where I'm just in this place of arrest, and I'm making steps forward, but they're very hesitant and almost non-committal steps, and then I'm sort of in a state of inactivity that is, it is depression. So there's all that. Okay, so heavy stuff. Hey, 6 of you. Hit the Bricks is PJ's show, so please support that audio radio show. All narrative in the ears project. Jennifer's here. Jason's here. Hello. Lauren is out there. Hello. Ryan Meeker. Hello. I am gonna do one more song. Anybody have a request before because I'm just have to pee too, so I've got that going for me. I love you too, Jennifer. I don't know what to say about depression. I'm sure it is a beast, and the thing about it is that all I know is, like a few months ago, I was worse than I ever was, and today I'm better than that. But I didn't even know things could be that bad, So, there you go. Makeup, I gotta be something. Okay. Can't think of what to say. My body ain't playing games, and I sit here and hold it in, but I only have so much time. I have to pee, let me leave. I have to pee it out of me. So let me please leave. All right, I'll be back tomorrow. I'll be back tomorrow. Yeah, my music makes everybody pee. It's just the effect of my voice and the guitar and the words that I weave together. It speaks to your bladder. Love you guys. I'll talk to you all later. Bye bye.